And good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Have At It. This is episode 84. My name is Ben Cornett. I am live here on YouTube at Ben Cornett 9015, as well as on Facebook in the Ben Zone Facebook group. So yeah, how's everybody doing? First off, I just want to say apologize for not getting any videos out lately. Had some stuff going on last couple weeks. Some private stuff going on. No big deal. Everything's good now, but sometimes life just gets in the way. So you got to take care of it. But I am back. I am available tonight. Um, and I thought tonight's episode we'd I don't know, just talk about anything. Just you know, talk about just fly off the rails here. So yeah, what's going on, everybody? As far as sports goes, we can certainly talk about that. It's been quite a week. I think the big talk has been about um, the big hockey game we had last night, the Four Nations Championship between USA and Canada. Uh, Canada won in overtime, 3-2. Um, as an American, it's disappointing, but look, give Canada a lot of credit. Give Jordan Bennington, the goalie, credit. He made a lot of great saves in, especially in the overtime. U.S. had their chances, but in the end, Canada was able to get the game winner, and there's that. So the Four Nations uh, tournament that went really well. That was the replacement for the NHL All Star game. There's certainly been a lot of talk going on about, um, the NBA All Star game, how it's just wasn't very good. Now, I didn't even watch a second of it, because I just had a feeling it wasn't going to be very good. I know they broke it off into like four teams, Team Shaq, Team Kenny, Team Candace. Whoever the other team was, I don't remember. I didn't even watch it. So there was a lot of mixed reviews on it, but in the end, just most of it was not very positive. My thing is, the NBA, the players itself, the star players just don't care. So why should we? I mean, I didn't even care. That's why I didn't watch it. I watched the SNL 50, which was really good. Um, so yeah, I mean, I watched NASCAR. The Daytona 500 debuted. You know, I'm sorry, the 2025 NASCAR Cup kicked off. The season kicked off. The Daytona 500 came back, and we saw it was quite a race. Had a delay, but uh, turned out really well. So we got a comment in here. Let's see. What do we got there? Christopher Cole says, "Hey, Christopher, how you doing tonight? Thanks for tuning in." Um, Christopher is a Bucks fan, as you know, and there's been talk this week about Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Um, Obviously, the big talk has been Chris Godwin, wide receiver for the Bucks. They're working on a deal as we speak right now. They want to try to get this done before um, free agency hits. Um, as far as my feelings on Chris Godwin, I mean, he's been there since day one, since 2015. Jason Lights drafted him in the fourth round. So there's definitely a connection there with Light, as you know, with Mike Evans, because Mike Evans was Jason Light's very first draft pick. Same with Godwin. Light drafted him, and they're going to do everything they can to re-sign him. I know Chris is going to hit free agency. There's going to be teams out there that are looking forward to try to acquire his services, and can't blame him for that. Godwin's been one of the better receivers in the NFL the last 5-6 years now. one of the downside is the injuries. Chris Godwin suffered a season-ending injury, his second season-ending injury in the last 3 seasons, and that could keep teams maybe not away, but give them be a little hesitant about maybe giving them a big contract. It could work out for the Bucks. You hate to say that because injuries, you never like to see that, but at the same time, it could be an advantage for the Bucks. Maybe get a discount perhaps, but um, just as far as reading the tea leaves and everything, they're going to work on a deal. Try to get it done before whenever free agents, like March 1st or something like that. I forget the date, but the way I look at it, the more likely they're going to try and do like where they kind of do it like Mike Evans, where you give him like a 2-year deal, put the cash up front, and then you put in incentives, incentive laden contract to where, like let's say with Mike, it was a little different. Like the 1,000 yards, he was able to get it in the last game of the year. So I gave him an extra $3 million. Like maybe with Godwin, they could do something similar, or like maybe plays a full season and hits a certain mark, then you'll get more money out of that in that first year. So to me, that feels more like the route they're going to go, with Chris Godwin as far as the contract goes. So we'll see what happens, but I'm sure they're going to do everything they can to keep him. Would it be the end of the world if Chris Godwin doesn't come back? I would say no, but I do know that, when healthy, he's one of the best receivers in football, in the game, probably a top 10, 15 receiver. And, when you pair him up with Mike Evans, they do amazing things. So, and, hating to see Godwin out, like, you got to see, McMillan, the rookie out of Washington, play well. You got to develop. So, if somehow we don't get Godwin back, you got Jalen McMillan, ready to go. He knows the offense. But more than likely, the Bucks are definitely going to try and do whatever it takes to bring Chris Godwin back. Again, it's just going to depend on the numbers, what Godwin wants, what he can command on the open market, because there will be teams that will give him a pretty good offer. The Chargers, Steelers, they're looking for a wide receiver, especially if they, get a veteran quarterback. Aaron Rodgers, it's been the big talk. Could he be going there? He'll need, he'll need a receiver. Who knows if they resign Justin Fields or resign Russell Wilson? So they'll want to get a receiver, alongside of George Pickens, and try and make that offense better. And we'll see about that. Again, from what I'm hearing, from what I'm reading, the Bucks are definitely going to try and re-sign Chris Godwin. That's their goal right now. So let's see. We got a comment from Blackie Lawless. Thanks for tuning in, Blackie. How you doing tonight? What's up, Ben? And Blackie says, thoughts on Johnny Dean as our next defensive end? Well, Blackie, I think Johnny's retired these days. So, we're going to let the old man enjoy his, retirement. He's going to enjoy playing with Radar, enjoy the winter weather that he's got going on there in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So, yeah, back in the day, I'm sure Johnny would tackle a mother effer, So, but yeah, let's put it this way, Black. He'll always be our defensive end. So, yeah. So, yeah, it's pretty much it on the Bucks front of things. I still think they should looking to probably thinking about maybe trying to trade for Myles Garrett. Because they are going to need a defensive end, and uh, you know, I just don't think a guy like JTS he's not cutting it. And just imagine if they got a defensive end that can really help this Bucks defense get more sacks. Because again, I've mentioned it for weeks. We definitely I would like to see a defensive end like a Myles Garrett, maybe a Josh Sweat. I want to get that 10 to 15 sack kind of defensive end. Now, the thing is that the defense is pretty unique defense. It's 3-4. Obviously they depend a lot on their front, their defensive tackles. Then you depend a lot on the linebackers with the speed aspect of it. So, but I always say, if you're a good defensive coordinator, you can be able to fit guys in. So we'll see how that plays out. But again, I do think we need to, if not get one in free agency, make a trade or something like that. Probably get look in the draft for a defensive end. Now, as much as I love Abdul Carter, the Bucks are picking 19th, and they're not going to have a chance. So I'd have to look over the prospects to see what defensive ends are out there. But it's definitely a priority, and and also probably a defensive back, a cornerback. There's talk about possibly letting Jamel Dean go, or trading him. So the Bucks do have to get a little under the cap. Have to get some money spread out. Obviously this week we found out that the NFL is going to raise the salary cap to around 280, I believe, 281, something like that. And so that's gives a little more money. But again, there's been talk about Jamel Dean possibly being traded, being let go. My thing with Jamel is he's good, solid. He's a solid cornerback. Good in coverage. But there's the old saying: your best ability is your availability. It's Bill Parcells quote. And Jamel Dean's been injured a lot, and it's tough to not have him out there. And the money he's getting paid right now, like 15, 16 million a year, which is not the highest, but it's certainly one of the bigger salaries right now. Bucks need to get their money's worth. So who knows what's going to happen there? But yeah. So right now the priority probably for the Bucks defensively, definitely get a defensive end. You're gonna have to get another linebacker because obviously, again, we know how great Lavonte David's been, but there comes a point where eventually he's going to be leaving, retiring. He's been at it for since 2011, and I'm sorry, 2012. My bad. It's been over a decade, so who knows how much longer he's going to play. So they got to look into those things, and we'll see what happens. All right. Blocky says, would you take Joey Bosa if he's cut? I would. I know the Chargers are looking to look to trade him, let him go because he's got a big salary as well. My thing is with Bosa, Joey Bosa, a lot like Godwin, a lot like Jamel Dean. He's been injured, and can you rely on him to be on the field? And last year, Joey missed some games. He's been missing quite a bit of games the last several years. But when he's on the field, he's one of the better defensive players in the league. So again, it comes down to can he stay healthy? And is he going to command a big money offer. Now, if he gets let go, there's he's not going to get near the money that he's looking for. So realistically, the Bucks could look into it, and I would take him just based on talent alone. But at the end of the day, too, you got to think about it. Like the injuries come into play, and one of the problems with the Bucks the last few years has been injuries on the defensive end, on the defensive side of the ball. You know, this year alone, we had Dean out, we had Antoine Winfield out. You know, um, yeah, the Bucks really need to have they really need to stay healthy, and if you're gonna bring a guy in that has some injury issues, then it's a risk. So I look into it if Joey Bosa you know does get let go, but I know the Chargers would probably try and trade him first. Definitely want to get something back for him. So if that's the case, then he'd probably get like a third round pick. You know, but it's something the Bucks definitely need to look into as far as on the defensive side of the ball, especially in the front seven. So we'll see how that plays out. Um, Marty, thanks for tuning in, man. How you doing tonight? He says Bosa is going to cost a lot of money. Uh, he could, but like I mentioned a few minutes ago, Marty, I've been mentioning that Joey Bosa's had some injuries. A lot like Godwin, he's had injuries, major injuries, and you think that that price tag could drop down. You know, so we'll see how it plays out, but I would look into it if I'm Jason Light because something's got to give here. This team, the Bucks should be better as far as getting to the quarterback, and you know, Via being the second leading guy in sacks, as great as Vita Vea is, and as great as this man is, hopefully, oh, I was gonna try and have a guest on. Hopefully, I thought he'd come in, but we'll see what happens. Let me get him in a minute. And Will Tick Holloway, thanks for tuning in. Will, how's it going tonight? Bosa injury prone. I'd rather keep a solid Anthony Nelson in the rotation. Yeah, I mean Anthony was great this year. I mean, if you guys remember the Carolina game in overtime against the Panthers, that might have been the turning point because the Bucks were about to lose that game, Carolina, and then Chuba Hubbard, broke off a big run until Anthony Nelson stripped him of the ball, and then um, was able to get the ball back for the Bucks, and they were able to get the field goal to win in overtime. So definitely a big deal. So Nelson played a key role last year, and again, I don't think he's necessarily a starter, but he's definitely a guy you definitely want to keep in the rotation. Will so, um, yeah. So again, Bosa is injury prone. That's my only concern. I don't think he's going to command as much money as a lot of people think, but we'll see what happens. Some teams will overpay. Uh, let's see. Christopher Cole, defensive staff changes today. Okay, yeah, I saw that. There's a couple of them. There's a guy named Keefence who's going to be our passing game coordinator. That's that's interesting. Keefence. Too bad he's not on. I made a joke today. Too bad he's not on the defensive side of the ball. But yeah, and there was going to be changes, obviously. Maybe that's what Todd Bowles is doing. Looking to change some, people on the staff. To get this defense better, and there's nothing wrong with that. Um, it's encouraging because right now, let me. I got him. Oh, okay. Well, I was gonna have a guest on there. Hopefully, he can come on. Um, I invited him on. His name's Sean Spencer. If you're out there, come on in anytime, buddy. I'll be waiting. Um, so yeah. So right now in the background, I do got the SmackDown on. Tonight's The Rock's supposed to be there, and I guess Cody wrote now. I don't want to get in trouble, so yeah, I can't. Okay. Just in case, YouTube or Facebook, I don't want to get in trouble showing it. Yeah, I think it should be okay. But right now, if you're watching wrestling right now, SmackDown's on. We got Cody coming out. The Rock came out. So there's supposed to be a big announcement tonight. What's The Rock gonna do? It's gonna be interesting. We'll get into some WWE right now. WrestleMania season has officially kicked off. We all know. Talked about the Royal Rumble. We got the Elimination Chamber coming up a week from tomorrow, so it should be a very interesting one. The men's and women's elimination chambers are set. I think it's DraftKings. I think one of the betting favorites are going to be Cody and look who's here.
What's up, man? Daggone.
Hey, Sean,
Could not get these things hooked up, man. I'm good, man. How you been?
I've been good, man. First of all, thank you for coming on tonight. This is going to be a lot of fun. I know the title is just talking about anything.
Yeah, I know. I'm a little late to the Christmas party. With the
that's some swag, bro. Look at that. Look at that, man. I mean, let's just get into it, dude. I mean, what a season! Congratulations. I mean, you were a game away from the Super Bowl, where I think a lot of people thought, 8-9, 9-8, be good. It's an upgrade. But then you made some noise. Jaden Daniels showed you who's in the league now, who's taken over this quarterback group the next decade. Defensively getting better, and you got money to spend this offseason. I mean, how excited are you from this point going forward?
I'm extremely excited. I mean, obviously. And look, what I'll say about Jaden, JD5, he's no Sam Howell. Okay, that's what I'll say. Even I was one of the last people to get on board the Jaden train. Even I had to see. I mean, this guy is amazing. He's just a great character guy. He brings the team together. But then when you start adding in these pieces like the Bobby Wagner, who we got to resign, we got to look at getting him, Frankie Louvu at linebacker, and looking at getting Lattimore and having this defense together. It's just exciting to see, we might be good for a while. It wasn't a fluke. You know what I mean? If we can retain these coaches and keep these guys together, which it looks like we're doing, it's building, and I love that. That's what I wanted.
Well, absolutely. I mean, Cliff Kingsbury said he's coming back, so that's already a good start. You keep that continuity with Jaden Daniels, Dan Quinn. I mean, my God, talk about a rejuvenation of his career. Did such good things with Dallas's defense. You bring him on board to Washington, and he's changed the culture. I mean, you look at not just with the backwards hat, but the guy. People love him, and when you got a team that just runs through a wall for their coach, I mean, it just makes such a difference. And remember, too, you changed ownership, everything just started to come together. And I feel like now, what's it going to take now for that next step, Sean? What do you think you have to do to get past the championship game and be a contender in the Super Bowl next year and beyond?
Honestly, I think it's continually getting the right pieces, getting the right players, obviously there's a lot of names out there in free agency and draft that, oh, do you want to go in this direction? Do you want to go in that direction? I think what they're doing, they're deliberate. And when I mean they, I mean, Josh Harris, Adam Peters, Dan Quinn, those guys in front of us looking, which direction they're going. Um, I trust them like 100%. And I think what's fun about right now is that the future is so bright, but there's so many things on the horizon. It's just like, okay, what? Oh snap! Woof, what do we have? It's exciting.
Oh yeah, I mean, anytime you go through an era where it's just been bad football, and it's
Terrible.
not only
Dan
that,
Snyder.
Sean, yeah. Well, that's the thing. What makes it worse is bad ownership because
Yes.
it just makes you feel like there's no light at the end of the tunnel. And once Snyder sold the team, I think no matter what, there's that light, and then at least there was some hope. Now the ownership's been hands off, letting the football people do their job, and that's the most
Mm-hmm.
important thing. And for any professional sports team is to owners let their guys do the job. Unlike Dallas, the team in your division where Jerry Jones,
Jerry.
Jared,
King
he
Jerry.
now hired a Brian freaking Schottenheimer. I'm like, this is a
Thank you.
typical,
Thank you. That was beautiful.
typical Jerry Jones type of move.
That was
And
beautiful.
sorry,
That was
Janae
so beautiful.
Crowder, if you're watching out there. I mean, it just felt bad for her because it's never going to end until, unfortunately, Jerry's not. I
But
don't want to say. I'm just saying that.
that but that's what makes me feel so good about Washington. It's like they are trying to fall apart. And it's like, yes, we're just naturally stepping.
Right. Oh man, it's incredible, man. God, I know it's like now it's like we can't wait till the season starts, right? I mean, now we got to wait a few months.
And
And
we're in the offseason, right?
right.
And
So,
I think that's the way it goes with college and pros. It's like right when you get in the thick of it, right when everything gets hot and heavy, it falls off. And then it's just like 6 months, 6 months. We gotta wait 6 months, you know?
right. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll make the time go by a little faster. I know we talked about this earlier. The March Madness coming up. It's one of my
Mm-hmm.
favorite times of
Mm-hmm.
year. I mean,
Oh
obviously,
yeah. Oh yeah.
the weather's getting warmer, college
Yeah.
basketball, and Girl Scout cookies. So, I mean, it's a triple threat right there. Win, win, win for me and all college
Yeah.
basketball fans. So now, real quickly, I know you've kind of said, you know what, damn, UNC is probably not going to make the tournament. I'd say stay positive because look what happened with NC State last year. Your bitter rivalries. They had that 5-game run in the ACC tournament, and they took it
Oh yeah.
all the
Oh
way
yeah.
to the Final Four. So to me, I still think there's a chance, but you got to win out, and I think you got to beat Duke in your last game of the year. Then have a good showing in the ACC tournament. Pile up a couple wins there, get to the semis, and then maybe you'll get that at large bid. Fair to say?
So we need to win until like the remaining number of games, any of the rest of the games up until now in the tournament, in order to even have a shot to get into the tournament.
Right. Yeah.
I
Now,
mean,
if
it's
you
just
win,
that bad.
yeah, but
Now,
if you win the
well, yeah,
ACC,
if we win the tournament,
it
well
doesn't
then
matter.
yeah,
You'll get the automatic bid. But yeah,
yeah,
you need a lot of momentum. And I'll tell you, man, I think, and I'll say this real quick with college basketball, like college football this year, we have to get used to new teams in new conferences.
yes,
That's been a
yes,
big deal. And right now, the SEC, my God, we're talking maybe 12 teams perhaps can get into the NCAA tournament. It's that
oh
loaded
yeah,
conference. Same with the Big 12, get like 7 or 8 teams in there as well. And I think
and I
Arizona's
like
benefited real well. Yeah, I do too.
oh yeah.
Um, so what do you think of this college with the realignment in college basketball? We know college football. What do you think college basketball? Because I know it's two different sports.
I think it's funny how when we get so much into the college football and the 12 team, and potentially more, 16 team CFP and how big that is, we forget about where this came from. What's the model that we're trying to emulate, and it is March Madness. It is those brackets, like in the conference tournaments and like the Maui Invitational, all those different brackets and all that stuff. And with college basketball, it's funny. March Madness is so beautiful, but with people sometimes you miss out on those conference tournaments, and not just ACC, SEC, and all that, but
Right.
those mid majors and those lower the Lehighs playing the Monmouths and all. You know what I mean? Those term. That's why I love this time of the year.
Mhm. Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, you just said it right there. The mid-level conference. We're talking about, like you said, the MEAC, Ohio
Hmm.
Valley Conference, the American Athletic Conference, Memphis in there.
Yeah,
And you
yeah.
talk about out west, we got the Big Western, the Mountain West tournaments have always been pretty good. So, yeah, they're just as fun as, the NCAA tournament. And now this year, there's a little wrinkle added. There's not going to be an
Mm-mm.
NIT, but it's going to be a 16-team tournament where the two teams that from each of the power conferences that didn't make that got left out of the tournament automatically
Mm.
get in. So it kind
Oh
of
wow.
gives, a little extra, like, I guess you say, some more fun into the lower tournaments, after the
Yeah,
conference tournaments. Puts
true.
more bigger
Yeah.
spotlight on. So I think it's pretty cool what they're doing. So yeah, we'll see what happens with UNC. Like I said, I'm pulling for them. They got to, like I said, get the momentum going, get the wins piled up because they do have a good schedule. They got winnable games. They just have to put it together. And I really think this is if they don't get in this year, Sean, we could see some turnover. I'm not saying Hubert's going to get fired, but guys like Elliot Cadeau and a Seth Tremble, or one or both of them may leave, go into the portal. So I don't know.
Um,
It's going to be
that's the
interesting.
problem. That's the problem. You know, we've already had guys start to leave, and it's not the same old thing. And you got to think about it. Hubert Davis, no disrespect to him, but when he came in, he had Roy Williams' team. That team was the one that went to the national championship and just lost to Kansas when Baycott got hurt. He then returned that team the following year minus Caleb, and minus Brady Manick, and then R.J. Davis stayed another year. Like, so he's still been living off that team. He has not built his own guys. Like, we got Powell. He's electric. We've got pieces here and there, but it just doesn't feel like they have their identity. When we had Baycott, when we had those guys, fouls, rebounds, get to the get to the basket, get to the foul line. That was what we did. It's they sometimes they try to stay out in the perimeter and shoot threes. They're not pressing like we normally. It just seems kind of discombobulated. Now, I will say I have not seen all of the games being still kind of since Washington. I was dealing with them since January, and I'm not used to that. That
I
was
don't
a
blame
lot
you.
of
Yeah,
which is a
I
good
don't blame
thing, but
you.
but that's of what I've seen even all throughout the year. I mean, it's been a lot of close games earlier on, but the normal way that we're doing it is not what it's been. It's been more of catch up, RJ Davis, do some heroics, shoot some threes, da da da, and we'll get back into the game after being down. You know what I mean? But we've hung tough with Kansas. We've hung tough with um, Michigan State. We've hung tough with some of those teams, but you can't. You got to. We got to figure it out. It's we'll see. We got to win out. Period. So
Yeah, you got to win out. And let's hypothetically say maybe if they do let go of Herbert Davis, I don't see it happening this year, but
I could.
like,
I wouldn't.
you think?
I don't
You
know.
think?
They might give him. I think him coming out mid-season and saying, I want to get this whole transfer portal thing is passing me by and all that, the recruit thing. I'm going to bring in a guy to help me with that. I think that gave him a year. But if you don't make the tournament this year, I mean they're already calling for it. So I mean, I
Oof.
I don't want him to go. I mean, it's like like I said, I like the guy. But I want him to have his set, his guys, get him going, Give me what is our identity? What is it we are? Are we Dean Smith and pressing the ball and the triangle and like what are we? And that's where I'm at. I'm frustrated.
And that's fair. I mean, I think that is part of the problem is finding that identity. Who is this team? What can we? What's this team going to look like? And I was going to say, you got a staff member on that team named Sean May. Now we all know who Sean May is. 2005 national.
Yeah, against Illinois.
I mean, maybe if
on his birthday. Come on, man.
Worst case scenario, if maybe you hire within, there's been a lot of good things said about Sean May. He's good at developing talent in that organization. So, I mean, you could look into that area. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Hopefully things turn out good. We don't go down that road to like, okay, now who are we going to have coaching next year or but I do think the NIL is a big part of it.
Well, and that's the thing. And I think that a lot that happens a lot with these blue bloods that have not had problems before the NIL getting recruits and getting people in. Now all of a sudden they have competition. Now guys don't necessarily want to go there just because of the brand. You know what I mean? They actually want to win or have an opportunity to play or get something on the side. And you might not be offered that. That competition going. Like it's a different game. It's different ball games from those older coaches.
It is. It really is, man. So what else has been going on in the world of Sean Spencer? I mean, we got baseball coming up. Orioles spring training has just opened up yesterday. I saw a baseball game on. I'm like, back.
I think we play. It's not today. We played. Did we play today? I think we played today. Either today or tomorrow.
I thought I saw the schedule. Like, let me take a lookie. I don't see it on there, but I know spring training has started for you guys in Florida. Yeah. There's been a lot of talk. I'm a Dodgers fan, and there's been all this talk about the money
tomorrow. Oh yeah.
The whole, they're spending all this money. It's not fair, like if people think about it, we're just referring money down the road, like we're doing the Bobby Bonilla. We're giving out a bunch of Bobby Bonilla.
We know how y'all do.
So, hey, man, and then who knows? Our AAA team might be in Japan because that's how many Japanese.
We try. Look, the rest of the league tried to infiltrate y'all with Otani's interpreter, who swindled all that money from him. We tried to get in that way, but he got found out. That guy.
Yes, but we all know, no matter how much money, you got to still win on the field. And for Baltimore, last 2 years playoffs, they've been there, haven't really taken that next step. Hopefully, this year maybe is the year. I mean, it'd be good to see a Baltimore team in the World Series. We hadn't seen that since the early 80s.
83.
83. Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right when I was born. When I was born.
Oh my God! Yes. So you've never really seen a world?
Never. Never. I've seen a streak. I've seen Cal Ripken in his streak. I've seen steroids. I've seen us get robbed against the Yankees.
Shout out to Jeffrey Mayer. Okay, I won't say that name anymore. Speaking of the Yankees,
I mean,
the facial
50 years after 50 years, they lifted. Come on, man, that's crazy. But it's funny to think about.
How ironic is
clean shaven?
Looking young, I know. How ironic. I'm clean shaven.
Come on now.
Lift that.
Look at it. I did a little clip to it.
Yeah, no, it's cool, man. I like it. You got it all nice and green, man.
What I gotta do?
There you go, man. So yeah, I mean, and it's long overdue. And I understand from a corporate standpoint, it's New York Inc. It's brand. Sure, any job, a lot of jobs will have you. You need to be clean. I understand that, and I'm totally with that. If you get paid a lot of money, but I do think it's cool now that we get to see the Yankees join us, everybody else in 2025.
That's the other thing. It's 2025.
Imagine if Jeter had a beard, or if Tino Martinez, or Paul O'Neill had a beard. Think about that. We missed out on on the beards, man. So I thought it was pretty interesting. Oh, look who's in the house tonight. We got Mr. Alex Loosemore. Alex, what's
Yeah.
going on, guys? Alex, by the way, great show. You and Andrew on North
Oh
Sports
yeah.
Dynasty tonight talking draft, getting your 1.0 draft on. That was a good
Who,
show.
Alex? Who did you say Washington's getting? Who did you say we're drafting? I want to trade up and get Will Johnson. I'm telling you that right now. We need a corner.
Wow. And that's going to be interesting. Let's get into that real quick. I mean,
Mhm.
a lot of talk about the Tennessee Titans. They got the first pick. Alex says, nice. Thank you. Nice to get back in the swing of things. Absolutely. I mean, what would an NFL draft talk be without Alex and Andrew Faubert? So shout out to them.
Absolutely.
But Tennessee Titans, I'm of the belief, because the quarterback class is not great, of trading down, because you have so many needs. A quarterback's not going to automatically, people say, well, what about Jaden Daniels? What about CJ Stroud? Well, they're not. Cam Ward, with all due respect, Shedeur, they're not at that level.
Right.
So I would not personally draft them, put all my stock into them right now. They just don't have
Tennessee.
Yeah. You need an offensive line. You need a linebacker. You need, playmakers. You don't have that. I mean, Tony Pollard's nice, but he's not a lead running back.
But he's best. He's best when he's complimenting somebody else. When he was when Zeke, that's how he was getting all his yards, because the focus was elsewhere. So Pollard is good, but he needs help. But to your point, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just saying, they need a lot of holes need to be filled, and I just think I've always been the belief, if you can trade that pick to get multiple picks, I mean, already you're off to a good start. You can fill those needs. So, Alex says, let's see here. Had you guys stayed put and taken Mike Green? Okay, that's interesting.
Okay, I can dig the guy from Marshall. Oh yeah, I like that. I definitely like that.
And Alex has the Bucks taking Alabama linebacker Jihad Campbell at 19. That's a pretty interesting pick, because I said it earlier, Sean, on the show. Linebacker will probably be one of our needs, because Levante David, we don't know much longer he's going to play. You got to prepare for the future. And with all due respect,
is he a free agent?
I believe so. Yeah, he's on a 1-year deal. He did a 1-year deal, so it's kind of like for the Bucks and Levante. I think they have this mutual understanding. Like, okay, Levante, it's up to you. How much longer you want to play? We'll be glad to bring you back for your, whatever your body feels like.
The ball's in your court.
Yeah, he still plays at a pretty good level. So, but eventually we got to look elsewhere, because he's not going to play forever. So I don't blame Alex for going with Campbell at 19. I mean, it's a solid pick. I'm down for that.
Where would you go? What would you?
Probably that position, and the only reason I say that, because as much as I want to get a defensive end, Abdul Carter's never going to fall that far, unless the Bucks want to trade their feet, which you shouldn't do. But I think linebacker's a realistic possibility. I'd have to look at the defensive ends on the draft board to see what's out there by the time we're picking. See what's out there, and who knows? Maybe trade down, maybe find somebody there, maybe get an extra pick. There's a lot of options the Bucks can definitely go at. Tampa Bay Race fan 2008, thanks for tuning in tonight. How you doing? Bucks at 19 is either edge rusher or inside linebacker. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
I like that.
Yeah, I do too. An edge rusher, obviously. Like I said earlier, Sean, Jason Light, I think should look into maybe a Myles Garrett. Just look into it, see what's going on.
Right?
Yeah, I'm all for it. Because the Bucks are in a position.
So are we.
Yeah, that's true. And you guys are the betting favorites, or were the betting favorites to land him if a trade happens. So that makes a lot of sense. You got money to spend. So and that's
well, see.
Oh, go ahead.
Right. Well, I was gonna say so, and that's where when you look at some of this draft stuff, you're like, well, wait a minute. We still have to see what happens in free agency, and even leading up to the draft, because a lot of stuff happens right in front of the draft. We are already in a spot right now where, with Jaden there, we're at a best player available kind of spot in the draft where there is positions like definitely need wide receiver, definitely need corner. Edge is something of importance. That's why I love Mike Green and of a Marshall.
Yeah.
We definitely need specific things, but at the same time, if there is a guy that's just off the charts right there, lineman, tackle, whatever, boom, we can easily get him. And so that's where I love being at where we're at, but I love the pick that he had.
Yeah, Bucks probably trade down and still get Campbell realistically. Yeah. You know,
Oh, yeah.
he is a late first rounder, maybe at worst early second rounder. But yeah, and here's Alex saying right here, as we mentioned with Myles Garrett, any contending team should acquire about Myles Garrett, correct? But I don't
Yeah.
think he ends up getting traded.
That was the thing I was thinking. Is what is Cleveland saying all this? I've heard Myles Garrett talking. I've heard everybody's speculation on where he's going. But what's Cleveland's thoughts in all this? Are they? I know that they. I mean, I know he was the one who asked for it. What
Right.
they weren't the ones who said you can go look for a trade, right? It was him.
That's what. Yeah, it is Myles Garrett. He's informing the team, hey, look, we got to start winning here. If I'm not winning here, I need to go somewhere where I can win. I want to be going somewhere else to win. And, you know, I don't blame him. Look where Cleveland's at right now. The situation's just not very good. You know, you got the worst contract in the NFL that's going to be hanging over your head for the next couple years, no matter what you do with Deshaun Watson. You know, he's not going to play next year because I hate to say it, but the dummy went on Instagram and, you know, with his boot and it's these silly little things. It's sad.
And hold up. What is with these players and these owners and all these people having these things and these massage parlors? You got Kraft, you got Watson, and now Justin Flipper Tucker, who I thought was an honorable citizen in Baltimore, is now out here with 6 or 7 allegations. What?
I mean, can we get that same energy from Mr. Tucker as we did with Deshaun Watson? I mean, and that's all. I'm not going to go any further. But I'm just saying, let's just.
But see, this is different. Watson was solid in his day, but he wasn't. He was good. Tucker was considered like one of the best kickers
until this year,
like up in there, right?
Yeah, so I'm wondering, could those distractions?
Now we know why. Yeah, that's what happened. Yeah, he knew something was coming.
Yeah, and here's what's coming for the Bucks by Tampa Bay. 21 players in free agents. That's right. He is correct.
Yeah.
I saw that list.
That's bad.
Yes. Oh, look who's here! North Sports Dynasty.
Hey.
By the way, I'm not very happy. Canada fucking won the Four Nations Cup. I'm still not over that as a proud American.
Listen, I like my allies up north. All right. Just so we're clear, if things go down, I will align with the north.
Canada. Oh, okay. So you're gonna brush up on your Canadian? Yeah.
Yes.
By the way, they are provinces, not states. You know, just saying.
To province. Let's go. I'm gonna brush up on it. You're right.
Alex. Speaking of Canadians, Alex, probably the greatest Canadian since Wayne Gretzky, saying that's the hard part with mock drafts this early. Got to project what might happen for you. Absolutely. I mean,
exactly.
So that's what makes it fun though about these doing these mock drafts, Sean, is that we get to have fun with it. But for the general managers, this is serious business, man. They gotta think about hey, who are we gonna resign? Who are we gonna bring in free agents wise? And then you gotta go, okay, well, we couldn't get this guy, so maybe we could find somebody in the draft. So there's just a lot of things going on. And last year, good.
Yeah, I was good. Yeah, if we don't like how we did our mock draft, we can just redo it. If they do it wrong, it's done. Like they have to live with that for a year. Like
exactly. And look what the Giants had to live with. Remember in the Hard Knocks offseason, they did the whole their GM letting Barkley go.
So sad. Look at y'all.
Barkley's
that was Cowboys level. Yeah. Right. Exactly.
See what you could have had? Like But shout out to Saquon, man, and Jalen Hurts.
Yes.
Awesome. I know they beat you guys. That sucks because of the rivalry, but
I'm good with the both of them. AJ Brown's a bum. AJ Brown's a bum, man. The way he did Lattimore, shoving his face mask up against his face, and then Lattimore got the penalty. Come on, man.
Okay.
What we doing? What are we doing?
I'm sorry.
But he's a champ. He's amazing, man.
Okay. I'm sorry about Lattimore, but I don't like the guy. Him and Evans over the years.
I know. Oh, I know.
I just don't. See, Sean, this is tough because Lattimore is not the same guy. Is there any chance you guys bring this guy back, or are we?
So we're definitely going to bring him back because I think the whole idea was for us to have him this year. But the funny thing is, even when we got him after the trade deadline, he was out 4 weeks and didn't come back until the Saints game. And the Saints, obviously, you knew how bad they were, so he didn't have to do much. But when he played, the Eagles, when he played Dallas, when he played y'all, he was exposed. You know, if he couldn't get in the guy's head, he just got beat.
Yeah, and that's the tough part about corners who try to play the mind games. If Evans did a great job this year when he went up against Lattimore in the playoff game, he owned him.
Yeah,
the
only thing that helped us to actually slow down Evans was in the second half. They made an adjustment. They took Lattimore off him and they kind of bracketed him. And it was, I mean, that's the thing. Like, if they would have left him over there, Evans would have had a career day.
Yeah. The difference was Dan Quinn. He knows how to do things. That's why he's such a great defense corner and a great head coach. I mean, that's what great coaches do, adjust. And that's what they did. Alex, speaking back on the Myles Garrett, Cleveland hasn't even picked up the phone and has said time and time again they won't trade him. But again, if there's a team out there that right offer, Cleveland's like,
Look, to quote somebody from another entertainment industry that we like, everybody has a price.
Oh my God, you got me in the
money. And then I always used to love my man Virgil in the background.
Oh, of course.
Just chilling. R.I.P.
Pick it up. That's right. Everybody, and then he just Royal Rumble 91.
Yo, I love that. But then I was just like, oh my God, Virgil, man, somebody gotta get you some talking lessons. Like, what? You don't know the catch. Like, some of those promos I was a struggle to watch some of those. I was like, Virgil.
It wasn't a strong suit.
Yeah. But he was solid, man. I thoroughly enjoyed him getting in. I love when he broke away.
Yeah, but unfortunately, he's no longer with us. He passed away.
Yeah,
rest in years ago. So rest in peace, Virgil. Mike Jones, one of the true icons of pro wrestling. Back in the day. So, all right, let's see what do we got here. We got more comments. We got the comments coming in. Thank you guys for commenting, Alex, Tampa Bay Rays fan. They got all one thing in common: all AFC teams. Okay, and have Mr. Tuck. Nip and tuck. I wonder why Tucker was off this year. Yeah, no, I mean seriously, and there could have been some distractions like going on outside.
He knew something.
Unfortunately, and I don't know. Like I said, let's keep that same energy, as we did with Mr. Watson. And there's more coming. They said the NFL's already looking into it, so there could be more coming. More lawsuits that are. Or allegations. Alex says, sucks that Tucker isn't getting the same hate as Watson, aside from the obvious reason that may be in play, quarterback versus kicker. Yeah, and also the obvious, we're not going to go there, but we know how it is, unfortunately.
Well, and I mean, I do think there is something outside of the obvious, but I do think there is something with the kicker thing because Brandon McManus, Washington had signed him in the offseason last year, and then he got kind of accused, not of that, but of sexual assault, whatever.
Flight, on the airplane,
right?
Jacksonville,
right?
Yeah, and Green Bay picked him up and really well. So
exactly. So it just depends on what you do.
I mean, and who was it too? The dude from Kansas City, the punter. Remember Matt Azaria? Was it? from San Diego
Oh,
State, and then he went to
yeah,
Buffalo, got
right.
drafted by
Punt
Buffalo,
God.
and then what happened was while he was at San Diego State, apparently he was accused of allegations of rape and
And rape and stuff,
sexual
yeah.
assault. It turned out not to be true. Unfortunately, that left a big mark on him. Was the Bills cut him, and the Chiefs brought him in, and he did very well for the Chiefs. So he did. It's good that he got his second chance. So
Yeah.
but we'll see what happens with Tucker. I mean, but who knows? This could be it for him. I mean, he's been in the league a long time, and
That's crazy.
whatever happens, we'll see.
What do you think? What does this do to his potential Hall of Fame shot? Like I thought he was a first ballot. I thought he was a Hall of Famer.
Well, if
before
the allegations, I mean, now if he's clear to this, I don't think there's anything to worry about as far as Hall of Fame. He'll probably still get in, but if there are something's going on here and there's a lot to this, a lot of truth, and they can find evidence of this, it's a big deal. I mean, I know, look what happened. This is a different situation. Look, we all remember Ray Rice running back to the Raiders.
Oh yeah.
The video. Now, if they didn't have that video, who knows if Ray Rice could have kept playing? But all they needed was that surveillance camera in the elevator. His career was over like that. And that was it.
Yep.
So who knows? If there's evidence coming out.
We need that same energy too for Tucker. Come on.
Everybody. I mean, it's the NFL.
Keep it consistent. Keep it consistent.
That's all we ask.
So,
let's see. Tampa Bay Rays fan. I love hockey rivalries like back in the old days. Yeah.
Oh, it was brutal.
They were. And and I mentioned earlier, Sean, before you got on about the NBA All-Star game, I didn't even watch a lick of it.
No, I haven't watched in years.
Yeah. I mean, just because if they don't care, why should we? I mean,
right.
That's the unfortunate thing. Hopefully they got that new deal with the Amazon, NBC, that money. You wonder if, they're going to change things. Look what hockey's done. They've made a Four Nations event.
Yeah.
They made it, to where the players cared and
made
the fans care. And
you need incentive.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Yep, and Alex Loosemore says the punt god, correct?
The punt god, yep.
North Sports Dynasty. How are we not talking about Sean's shirt? Oh, look at it. Yes. Show him, Sean. Look at it. Model that shirt for us.
Right there. Here we go. Perfect. It's cold out here, too.
We got our model
Merry
Sean
Christmas.
Spencer out there. I know he's a couple months late to the Christmas party, but anyway, he's showing that nice maroon and gold with the snowflakes and the Christmas trees that just light up your eyes and light up your life here, ladies and gentlemen. Look at the smile. Nothing says a nice Christmas sweater with a smile, right? Sean, there you go. Look at that. Love it. Let's see. We got some more comments here. Glad to raise you got a second chance. With Sean Oakman would have been afforded the same luxury. Yeah, I forgot about Oakman.
Well,
yeah, and that sucks, man. When you see
all it takes is the allegation.
And I mean, you have to take them seriously for one, because
you do.
There's a lot of stuff that does happen. So it's really a double-edged sword. But I don't know, man. It just sucks. That's all I gotta say about that.
No, I agree.
And Alex Loosemore says, couldn't tell you the last time I watched an NBA All-Star game. Yeah, neither could I. I mean, it was a few years
not competitive.
ago. No, look, I think last year's All-Star game, what was it, like 200 to like 180 something?
Yeah, I mean, come on, bro, don't do that.
I mean,
I watched one from like 91 or 92 or something like that, and they were actually like elbowing and checking, and it was a game, it was an actual game.
Yeah, I remember in your neck of the woods, 2001, the All-Star game in DC.
In DC, yeah.
Best game. Iverson went off. They were competitive, man. That was a fun game. I was like, man, let's get back to that. Let's have some incentive here, people.
Right.
Alex Loosemore, I guess, kind of has. Oakman's been killing it the CFL the last few years. Well, it's good. It's good to see. Hopefully, again, he gets another shot. The CFL, and it's interesting too. I wish, and Alex, maybe you know this, and Andrew, you know this better than we do. What's it going to take for the CFL to pique that interest? For it just seems like they don't know how to market, and that's a big thing. Marketing's so huge. But the CFL can be fun. You got the bigger field, you got 3 downs. They're usually exciting games, man. And I don't know what it's going to take. I just think it might be just the marketing. I don't know. Maybe they can answer that for us. But I've watched a few games over the years. They can be fun sometimes. So,
Marketing exposure. They need, get attention
yeah.
on them. But I mean, it'll happen.
Well, there it is. Bless you.
Stuck in their ways.
Yep. I that's what I kind of think so too. I mean, I don't know, man. So I don't know. Is there anything else you want to discuss tonight, or are we good, man? I mean, this is a good show so far, especially.
Yeah, it really has been. It really has been. I'm trying to think. I was watching. You watch. What are your thoughts about the recent SmackDown Raw? All that time, I was watching SmackDown a little earlier.
When I was on, The Rock comes out, so
Yep.
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
I haven't either. I'm about to watch it now
because we all know last year things changed, and
yeah,
when he came forward and matches changed, and
let me ask you this though. So you saw last week when what's it called what's the guy's name? The new guy in charge of the Usos.
Oh, Fatu, Jacob
Fatu.
Solo
Sikoa. So yeah. When Solo kicked not Fatu but the other one, when he kicked him last week, so they came in and you saw the beginning part tonight, right?
I didn't catch that. No. What?
Okay, all right. Then I'm not gonna tell you.
It's okay. I can
watch it.
But it's
pretty. It's dope. It's dope. Well,
yeah.
Let me let you go get to watching that because I want to go see that too.
Okay. All right. Well, before we let you go, Sean, real quick, here's Alex All came back to screw down. Oh wow, that'll be interesting.
There it is.
All right, Sean. Before we let you go, man, I want to thank you so much for coming on tonight. This is a lot of fun. Just promote yourself, man. Tell everybody out there what you do and what shows we can watch.
What is going on? It is Sean Spencer, one half of that dynamic duo is Let's Talk Football. You can catch me. So main show, Let's Talk Football, is done for the season. We'll be back next football season. Let's Talk Football, the Roundtable, Let's Talk Football, Ladies Takeover. Both are done for the off season. They'll be back next football season. Washington Football Weekly, Wednesday nights on YouTube and on X. Wash FB Weekly. We play our shows out there every Wednesday, talking the off season, talking everything, and check out college football's coming back. Just got confirmation talking to my guy Alex Loosemore. The time has come. College football is coming back, baby. We're talking about it. And Ben, I need because there's gonna be a resurgence in Tallahassee, and I need you on the show, my friend.
I hope so.
Come on.
So. I know.
I need you on the show.
It was tough because of my schedule and stuff. I couldn't get opportunity, but I promise you, I will try my best to be on that show.
Man, my man.
As they need a resurgence, I need to have a resurgence to come back.
Oh yeah. By the way, I want you to have a front row seat to what Bill Belichick does.
Right. There you go. And damn you, Alex, for being a jerk, telling us you're just joking. Oh, I hate you.
I love it.
Canadian stuff. All right, Ron, thank you very much, man. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, bud. See you around. Yes, sir. Good seeing you, man.
All right. Great stuff from Mr. Sean Spencer. You heard him. Check him out. Washington Football Weekly. Got a lot of stuff going on. Let's talk football. And he's a good dude. One of my favorites to listen to. Alex, okay. Can't be any worse than the Seminole did last season. And by the way, didn't I say Dion was not coming to Tallahassee? I don't know why you believe that, but it is what it is. I do believe though if Norvell does have another bad year, that they may be looking somewhere else. So great show, guys. Appreciate it, Alex. Thank you for tuning in, man. And I want to thank everybody tonight. Alex, Tampa Bay Rays fan. Blackie, Wallace. We got Will Tick Holloway, and let me read some of the Facebook comment. I may have some more Facebook comments on here that I forgot to read. Maybe not. Maybe they're out of there now. But let me see there. If I missed any of you guys, I'm sorry. Apologize. I'll read these real quick. Will says, I'd rather not trade away any picks. If we were to spend money on the edge, the idea target would be Josh Sweat, then draft the best corner at 19, in my opinion. Okay, I respect that. That's pretty good. I can see that. Will, the Commanders got buku money too. Yeah, they do. We talked about that with Sean. Andrew, sup? Now, Ben, go and make me cry with that comment. Yeah, Andrew. Good game. Congratulations. Canada deserved it. Jordan Bennington was great last night in the net. But like I said, when I commented on you guys, of course, the Toronto Maple Leaf couldn't get a big goal in a big game. So I love, Austin Matthews is a great player, but just can't come through in the clutch. Andrew, feels weird if I ain't doing draft content with Alex Loosemore. Yeah, dude, you guys really did a great job tonight. That's what I love about you guys' show, man. Big board, Andrew, man. I love the board and love the new setting out there. You guys got it going on, bro. Alex is like, yeah, you're right. Lots of laughs, yeah. Well, I mean, realistically, Alex, if you're still watching, he just signed a new deal. It was a new 8-year deal. So, you're going to give him another year or two. Unless it's really bad, he's sticking around for a little bit. I believed it because Norvell should have been fired. Yeah, it was not good. It was not good. And he's got to get it going because next year, if we don't make a bowl game next year, we got to seriously think about going another direction. I would agree with that. And Maple Leafs players always choke. Yeah. Why did Austin Matthews have to be American? Should have Canadian citizenship. I'm kidding. So yeah. That's pretty much all I got. I do need to see what going on SmackDown. I'll catch some highlights. We're into the WrestleMania season. I cannot wait. Real quick, I want to say there's a show on A&E called LFG WWE, which got Bubba Ray, Undertaker, Mickie James, Booker T. Great show. I saw the first episode. Really good. They, training the young wrestlers coming in the Performance Center. If you get a chance, check that show out. It's really fun. It's on every Sunday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific on A&E. It's a great show. They picked a good group of legends to be judges on the show. So I'm looking forward to that. Alex says, one good year out of your entire tenure shouldn't buy you multiple seasons after. Yeah, it's fair. It's fair. Norvell's got it was bad. And I said this, Alex, I don't know if I mentioned it to you guys on a show or not, or in the comments. I don't think Norvell was ever the same after that. Being left out of the last of the CFP, the 4 teams. He was never the same. And also Florida State, the whole suing the ACC, all that stuff just, I think, was distractions. But if you're a good football head coach, you got to, keep those distractions out. And unfortunately, everything just built up, and Florida State just was not good. And getting DJ as their quarterback was not the right fit. We tried to get Cam Ward. He would have been a better fit, but he went to Miami, chose them instead. Look what he did. But yeah, he needs to step up. And we got one more comment from Mr. Loosemore. I stuck with Bubba Ray going at that kid. Definitely want to watch it. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know Where they're going to have it in Canada. I don't know what channel you guys get in Canada, but A&E in the States has it. But I'm sure they'll have it though on, somewhere. But it's a good show, Alex. You got to check it out. Bubba Ray's great. What else we got? Yeah, you had mentioned that before, and you're absolutely right. Also, didn't help that they had lost so many pieces and didn't have the depth behind. Again, the coaching staff. Yeah, we did. We lost a lot of guys. Jared Verse was, look what he's done. For the Rams, and what a pick that was. Jared Verse was incredible, and he's the future for that Rams franchise. So, and then Fisk too, getting him from Florida State, and we all know the story with Verse and Brandon Fisk, been friends since high school. So to see those two on the field, I mean, for the Rams, shout out to Scott Taylor. I can't believe I said that. They had a great defense for a while. So NSD says, fuck the Leafs. Yeah, I agree. For me, I just laugh at them because we all know what's going to happen in May. They'll lose in the first round. It's inevitable. I mean, they can change coaches, they can change a lot of things, but the one constant will always be the Leafs being first round losers. We have A&E, also I'll look there. Yeah, that's where it's on. They also got WWE Legends and then Rivals, which is WWE just knows how to do it top to bottom, whether it's wrestling, whether it's shows, documentaries. They're the best. They really are. Verse Fist, Travis Coleman, Benson lost a lot. Yeah. And Johnny Wilson as well. Lost him for the Eagles. That's the only portion of what the Seminoles lost. Yeah, they lost a lot. Maple Leafs are the Dallas Cowboys of the NHL. Yeah, it's a good way to put it, but must be the color blue. I don't know. Dallas, Toronto, blue. It is what it is. So, yeah. But anyway, my Golden Knights, hopefully we can make another run this year. And you know what, Ann? You know what? That's hurtful, dude. In our time of need, you put that up. Okay. No, it's not cool. Gators, they suck too. In football, at least. Now, basketball, Florida Gators are a top 5 team in the country. And that team, oh man, we could be in a Final Four where at least 3 or 4 SEC teams make it to the Final Four. It's that loaded of a conference. So I will say the Florida Gators are a pretty damn good college basketball team. They suck at football. And Alex, ouch, that's saying that to a Lions fan. Hey, man. We lost to the little brother tonight. Oh, we did. I forgot about that game. Shit. Michigan State. Oh, was it a close game? Was it? I'll look it up. But that was a big game. And we all know they've lost their last 2 games. Missouri's another team out there in the SEC that's playing basketball right now. So not only are they doing it on the football field, but on the basketball. Oh, is this a score? Oh, yeah, 75. Ooh, that's a tough one. Tough loss for Michigan. But I'll tell you what, big win for Michigan State, though. So now it puts a little pressure on Michigan. Michigan State. That's big win for the Spartans. I got to say that. But Alex, you just mentioned it. They get another shot at him in Ann Arbor at the end of the season. Was it at MSU? Okay, so it was a home game for Michigan. Oh, that's a big road win for Michigan State. So, okay, well, you get another shot, payback, and like I said, Michigan's going to be fine. And you told me earlier, Alex, that Dusty May signed a new extension with the Wolverines. That's great. I know there was talk about Indiana, like you said, where he's from, but he just got to Michigan, and I think with Dusty May, he's got something good going there. He's going to be he's just getting started. He's going to recruit well. The NIL. He's putting Michigan basketball back on the map. Something that they thought Juwan Howard could do. Maybe they were more focused on his, on the legend Juwan Howard when he went to Michigan Fab Five. Really wasn't the best X's and O's guy, and I told you, Alex, when they hired Dusty May, I'm like, man, that's a game changer. Made Florida Atlantic a household name, and now he's going to do the same at Michigan. So good for those guys. And he says Spartans have a half game lead over us to be the number 1 seed in the Big Ten tournament. That's big. And, again, with the Big Ten tournament, this year it's unique because now with so many new teams in the conference, the Big Ten decided they're going to go with 15 teams in the tournament instead of every team, which I'm not mad at. I think you do have to earn your spot playing in a conference tournament. I think that's fair, especially when it's a loaded conference like that, 18 teams in it. 15, I like that rule. You got to deserve it. You got to deserve the right to, go to Indianapolis this year to play in that tournament. And I think it's a good rule. And I got to say, again, with the Big Ten, you got Michigan, Michigan State, you got Purdue, you got Oregon. I mean, you got some good teams in that conference, and it's a rock fight every night. So Juwan Howard was so promising, but just couldn't get the ball rolling. Yeah, and it's one of those things, Alex, where I think it was more, he was a Michigan alum. They thought, okay, he can recruit. Did a good job recruiting, but again, it comes the X's and O's is very important. You can recruit all you want, but if you don't get the X's and O's down, you're just going to have good players. Doesn't mean you're going to have a great team. Dusty May's different. He's got a great team. He's got a system. He can recruit and he can coach. He gets the best out of his players, and they play for him. They play under his system, and you're seeing it right now. They're top team in the Big Ten along with Michigan State. Love the May hire. Didn't expect him to turn around year 1 though. Yeah, and again, they have some players. Michigan has some players. And Dusty brought his own guys. He brought Golden with him, the 7'5" guy, from Florida Atlantic. So he does have some experience guys on his team. So that definitely helps with even the younger guys. So, and great backcourt as well. Probably one of the better backcourts in the country. Michigan State, Michigan, Wisconsin, Purdue, Maryland, and Wisconsin. All still in running for the first seed. The order of the conference, yeah. Forgot about Wisconsin and Maryland. Wisconsin had a big win in Purdue the other night. So like I said, Alex, the Big Ten's it's a 15-round fight every night. That's better. I think it's spitting on my camera by mistake. Yuck. Gotta clean that camera up. So yeah, it's a very tough conference, and I can't wait for the Big Ten tournament. I mean, those are going to be some games, my friend. It'll be a lot of fun. So can't wait for that. Danny Wolf transferring from Yale has been a great acquisition too. Yeah, I forgot about Danny Wolf. I mean, again, that's the Dusty May effect. Getting players that are going to fit his system, his environment. That's what he needs. And so I think it's only going to get better for the program. Because again, you still got Michigan State, Purdue, Wisconsin, Maryland. I mean, you got teams there that you're going to have to recruit like crazy. You're going to have to get the NIL players out of there, the transfer portal. And that's the way it goes in college sports these days. So you keep doing that, you guys are going to be great for a long time. You're going to keep Dusty May for a long time because I think he's going to stay put. So UCLA was supposed to be the second Wisconsin. You know, in UCLA, I hate to say it, but Mick Cronin, they may part ways. I mean, it's not working. I think they've been very underachieving this year. They got some talent on. I know they lost some players, but you know they should be better than what they are. And unfortunately, they, you know, I don't know if it's because they're in a new conference now, but you know maybe that's part of it. But I think with UCLA, they Mick Cronin. I mean, especially when he went on that tirade in the press conference a few months back, not a good look. You got to keep certain things in house in the locker room, and I'm fine calling out your team, but it's got to be done off camera, not on camera. And so there could be a change there, and then Cronin would be smart to go, especially after you talk shit about the players. Or yeah, it's just certain things you cannot do, Alex. You just can't do that in front of a camera, in front of reporters. What it does more than anything, it demoralizes the team. Now you got players that hear that, say, you know what the hell, like we're gonna really play hard for you. It's not so much what he says, it's the way he says it. It's kind of contradicting. Mick Cronin, he's as much to blame as the players, maybe more, because he's not done a good job coaching his team, last couple years, and it's had a ripple effect. And we'll see what happens there, but they got to turn it around. But yeah, and couldn't agree more. Yeah. Yep. Well, I am all talked out. I got to get got water here, but I am going to drink a beer pretty soon because I deserve one. And you guys, cheers to everybody out there tonight. Alex, Andrew, Sean Spencer for coming on, Tampa Bay Rays fan, Christopher Cole. All you guys, appreciate you guys watching on Facebook, Blackie, Will, Marty. Thank you very much, guys, for tuning in tonight. Appreciate that. It's been a great show. Like I said, the title of the show is just talking about anything. I'm going to try and do more shows in the coming weeks. Trying to get more shows in. We're going to talk more basketball, some more college hoops, March Madness, my favorite time of year. We got WrestleMania season going on, especially with SmackDown in the background. I guess see what The Rock did tonight. What was his purpose for being out there? So yeah, we got lots to talk about. So everybody, I'm going to take off. Thank you for tuning in tonight. Appreciate it. And I will see you guys next time on Have At It. Have a good night. Have a good weekend. We'll see you next time. Take care.